Well, welcome back to a new year in the garden, 2024. We're kind of late winter now, it's mid-February. We've had torrential rain the last 24 hours. I did start doing the video earlier and it literally started to rain again, so I've had to stop and come back out and do it again. So we're going to have a little wander around. I'll show you how flooded some parts of the garden are and what's about at the moment. So obviously out on the main patio area, the bootier is done absolutely fine. We haven't had much in the way of frost this year, so you know the grow point, the spear is absolutely fine, and I have relocated it so it's flat on the ground now, and it seems to be doing a lot better for that as the water doesn't just run off. The main tropical bed over here is all doing fine. The yuccas are getting quite a nice chunky stem on them. I'm going to have to look at removing them eventually because they want to go out the front. But we've got a couple of little pups, 2 extra pups out there now, so they're doing well. Then you'll see a few little bits and pieces, and then over here, there we go. That is the start of, gosh, what are they called? The big bell flowers in spring. There's some red and some yellow and some oranges in here, and then we've got some snowdrops and bits and pieces over there. Everything over here is all doing fine. The Musa sycamensis is once again bitten from the cold. I mean, that's all the way down to the ground again, but that was the same as last year, and you know, it got to 8 foot tall quite happily. So we'll just let that regrow from the ground again. The one bit of work that I've done so far is over here. I've just redone the fence over there because it was just kind of every other panel rather than the standing kind of feather edged panel. And I've cleared all the top gravel. This was going to be, or is still going to be, where I was going to put some new planting. However, that is concrete. So when I had the fence post put in, they actually had to dig out the concrete, so under here is concrete, so that's going to have to be lifted out. And I do have the line for the oil boiler going off to the oil tank back there that I have to be aware of, so I need to make some kind of protection to cover over that. And I also have a blue MDPE pipe down here. You can just see that if I stick you over, it goes into here somewhere as well that I have to be aware of. I have dug this, or so not dug, I've cut it back so far. I'm going to have to dig it out further because the Biscanthus is just getting too big. If I stand back, you can just see how big it actually is now. So that's going to have to be taken back a bit because otherwise it's going to start engulfing the oil line. The figs have been battered by the cold, this one especially. There's only a few left on here, but these ones look to be okay, so fingers crossed they all survive. This one's got a few more, there's quite a few on this that are still rotten that I just need to knock off. Also need to clean the phormium up, take the dead leaves off. Now this Fugesia is going to come out this year, I think. If I go down the side, you'll see just how much it is getting to the point where, if you can see, it's popped the other side of that bit of wood, so it's getting to the point where it's going to be pushing up on the summer house. So this is going to be taken out. I might divide it and put it back, but I have got some plans for this bit of the garden this year if I get time and money, so we'll see. And that will open this whole area up, and then if I you can see everything is waterlogged. Fatsia has really been hit bad this year again. I'm not quite too sure why this Fatsia just doesn't seem to do quite so well in this spot, but I'll leave it and see how it goes. Melianthus has done well. I've got a new Arbutus Unido, that's the one. I bought this little one last year. I was like, actually I want more of a upright one and a bit bigger. So I bought this one. The mountain peppers got some little buds on, so that will be doing well. Everything else around here is basically kind of just in the winter state. The Coniogramme is not doing particularly well. The bamboo, still no signs of flowering, so we'll see how that goes. This is doing okay. Actually, I noticed that this point is snapped off, so there we go, get that up there. I might have to take that back to that point so it grows up over the fence, over the roof line a bit more, and I might actually start taking one or two of these back, kind of, to here, because otherwise this is going to become a real long. You can see just how long that branch is now. Try and compact it in a little bit. One of my wife's Christmas presents, I got her a little bird hut, so we'll see whether we get anything in there this year. The Gunnera over the back there, underneath all the leaves, is doing okay. This black bamboo seems to have taken quite well. The grasses down here have all died. I need to clean all of this. I've got some plants to go in here. I need to do some hedging. Obviously this is all dead, so I'm not too worried about that, but I need to get hedging done along both sides. The pond is not looking particularly great. I really need to get into that this year and pull this oxygenator out. It's absolutely choked the pond, so I might have to do that in the next couple of weeks, buy myself a pair of waders and get in there and really have a go at it. We've been plagued by rabbits as always this year, so they got some new shoots on there. All the roots have been disturbed, so I'll have to shovel some soil back over that. Everything along here is obviously just winter, more rabbits. We've had deer in the garden as well this year that have had a good old go at some bits and pieces. So, and obviously this Fatsia has always struggled, so I might lift this and put it somewhere else. It's yeah, probably really not fit for much more than the bin, but I will find somewhere for it. Everything down here, I started clearing this a couple of, maybe 4 weeks ago now, back at the end of January. Got rid of some of the stuff that was past its best and had died. Started doing some weeding, and you can start to get an idea of how waterlogged some of the areas are. Over here, tetrapanics are all coming out in leaf. The main one has got a couple of little bits on it, but not too much. It's still far too early really for it to shoot. Over here I think the pink china is going to be okay, but the little runners on the surface that it spread out had all rotted off from the cold, as have my echiums there and this little guy down here, so I will pick up some seed I think and try and sow some fresh ones. I've given all of the honeysuckle and stuff a cut back here. Need to cut back from over the fence there, and this will be getting finished this year ASAP because I've left it for like 3 years now, and I don't like leaving stuff for that long. Even for me, that's taking the mickey a little too much. And in the greenhouse though, we have some casualties, I know that. My carrots are doing lovely. They've enjoyed the extra warmth. I've managed to pick up another Clematis armandii, and then we've got some more plants over here from my wife. The cannas and the gingers, they'll all be okay. My canna Braziliensis, I don't think these little seedlings that I sowed are probably any good still. The big ones in the pots I think are okay. I've got one indoors. I've started to give a little water and some bottom heat just to see whether it will come through. Aloe striatula is doing fine. Aloe arborescens variegated, as you can see, got hit by the cold. I mean, we didn't have it much below freezing, but this thing did not enjoy it. Hopefully it will come back though. It should do. There's plenty of green in there. A few things I was given by one of my customers. I think these are actually still green under there, but they might not make it. The agaves are all fine, and then just chilies and stuff that we left in the greenhouse over winter because we couldn't be bothered to throw them out. However, we are going to one of my favourite plants time of the year. It's the Helibores. Helibores are looking absolutely gorgeous as always. And then I have some lighter pinks. Really pretty. Need to take the leaves off of them, but I've just not got round to it because it's been so wet. And then we've got some whites over here. Also very pretty ones. And as you see, I've still got like cannas and gingers and stuff I need to cut back, and brambles that have rooted, and hedging that's got to go back about 3 foot, 4 foot. So we'll see. And then I can't really go much farther than this because yes, that reflection, that is about an inch of standing water. We had 12 hours straight from about 7 o'clock last night to about, actually no, it was more like 18 hours of just straight rain. And then you can see where the rabbits have decided to eat everything. I've pulled this border out slightly though, and you can see there's a bit more space, and I've just rejigged this now to the point where I'm happy with how the border is. So I need to get some compost in just to kind of give this all some extra help fill in the rabbit holes and everything. And then this is going to get planted up a bit more, and then I've actually put some deer fencing over the bottom of the garden as well, and fixed the gate so we can shut the gate, so hopefully we won't get any more deer in because they were starting to eat stuff. And then up by the house, the last little thing I'll show you is went to the garden centre a couple of weeks ago now, and naturally middle of winter they had a lot of stuff on sale, and I couldn't help myself. So we've got a couple of black elders, we've got some heucheras, we've got some herbs, yeah, so stuff that I've got to get into the ground at some point, but we'll just leave it there for the moment. So as you can see, the garden is in a bit of a sorry state. It always is this time of year. There's stuff starting to pop out, but hopefully we're not going to get any horrific late frost. I mean, we're only mid-February. March can be either way. My birthday's in March, and I've had snow and heavy snow when I've been working on my car, but then at the same time other years I've had shorts and t-shirts. So February into March can be very changeable, and also even April we can have not so much snow in the southeast, but we can get cold weather, enough to knock back tender stuff. So there won't be really much happening until late April, even early May, which is obviously when my work starts to pick up. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I can get the garden into a ready state for next year, and I can actually make some progress over this year for you to follow along to. So it will be probably another 4 weeks or so till the next video. For the end of the month I'm going down to RHS Wisley and Kew Gardens, so I might actually do a little video covering a few bits and pieces if I see anything that's super interesting there for you guys. So keep an eye out for that video.